Agriculture uses about 70% of the world's fresh water, and a lot of it is still lost to inefficient irrigation. Meanwhile, forecasts point to a serious water supply-demand gap by 2030, just as we need dramatically more food by 2050. So the question isn't if irrigation goes digital, it's how fast. Irrigation is the heart of farming economics, and now it's the front line of climate risk. Traditional watering still loses huge volumes to evaporation, runoff, leakage, or simply watering at the wrong time. Three forces are stacking up globally. Water is getting more expensive, drought volatility is rising, and regulators and buyers increasingly want proof of efficiency, sustainability, and measured outcomes. That's why what used to be a hardware problem is turning into a software problem: measurement, optimization, and reporting. Smart irrigation is a data pipeline that ends with a decision. Irrigate now, later, not at all. And how much? Here's the modern stack. IoT soil and field sensors measure moisture at the root zone. Weather and microclimate data improve timing and accuracy. Satellite analytics track crop stress and evapotranspiration across large areas. Drones add high-resolution scans to spot uneven irrigation and leaks early. And AI scheduling turns those inputs into practical recommendations, often tied into automation.
The market data is really interesting. When we look at the numbers, we see that the global smart irrigation market size was $2.2 billion in 2024 and is expected to grow to reach $7 billion by 2033. This is a 14% compounded annual growth rate and shows that we really are in an infrastructure-style growth. Regionally, North America leads right now, often cited around the high 30% share range, driven by larger farms, water concerns, and adoption of precision agriculture in regions such as the American West, the Canadian prairies, and some parts of Texas. But the fastest growth is often seen in Asia Pacific, where scale is massive and water stress is very intense. And in the Middle East and Africa, even with adoption still early in many areas, the demand signal is very strong because water scarcity is existential in those regions.
This shift is happening because the ROI is no longer theoretical, it's measurable, and you can see it in the real world. Take Pakistan. In many regions, farmers historically irrigated based on habit and caution, often applying far more water than crops actually needed. A national-scale advisory program started using satellite data and weather modeling to send farmers simple irrigation guidance by SMS. The reported results were striking, around 40% water savings for farmers who followed the recommendations. The technology wasn't fancy on the surface, just texts, but the impact came from something powerful, turning irrigation into a decision driven by data, not routine. And the same idea shows up again in Bangladesh, where an advisory system was evaluated with control group methods. The findings weren't just about water. They included reductions in irrigation water use and diesel fuel, sometimes up to around 40%, and reported improvements in farmer earnings. That's a key point. Efficiency isn't only about conservation. In many contexts, it directly changes the economics of farming. Now zoom out to commercial farms. When you add automation, sensors, alerts, and AI scheduling, the savings expand into labor and operations. One irrigation automation company has reported results like over 100 million liters of water saved and over $1 million in labor savings across thousands of acres in a single year, largely by catching leaks faster, preventing overwatering, and making irrigation schedules more precise. So across very different environments, smallholders and large operations, the pattern stays the same. Once irrigation becomes measurable, waste stops being normal. It becomes a solvable operating problem. So if we had to name the most important development in irrigation software right now, it's this. Irrigation is becoming a software layer, not just controllers and valves, but a living system connecting measurement, decision intelligence, automation, and increasingly reporting, proof of water use, performance, ESG, and compliance. That's why big players are buying or building smart platforms, and why startups keep getting funded. The value isn't only in hardware, it's in the intelligence and the data trail.
The global direction is clear. Water management is becoming digital, measurable, and optimized because the economics and the climate realities demand it. At AGRO-AI, we are building in this direction. An AI-driven irrigation intelligence layer and water reporting layer that helps operators make better decisions using the data they already have. We will keep sharing what we are seeing across the industry, technology, return on investment, and the real-world move toward more crop per drop. Subscribe for more global agtech briefings, and thank you again for watching this video.